Hi, it's a tax season again here in Canada, so let's have a look how to file personal income tax, which is the Form T1 in Canada for free. I am going to be making a video how to file a T2 form, which is for corporations and businesses in Canada, and you can do that for free as well. We are going to be using software called simplatex. If you go to simplatex.ca, you can register and use that software. It's completely free, including the net file submission of your taxes to the government. I'm going to show you how to fill out the tax forms in the software in two ways, either doing it manually or you can import all the information from the CRA My Account because the government already has most of the information for your taxes. And then I'll just show you how to submit the forms for free. Hopefully this helps and you don't have to spend your hard-earned money on companies that charge like 40, 50 bucks to do this. And you can do this in like 10, 15 minutes yourself. If you have all the forms available. And you can do this regardless of whether you are a single person or if you are family. You can do it on behalf of your family, for you and your spouse. I've been using simplatex for about 5 years now, and it's really well made. And it's very simple, intuitive. So let's just go and let's use the software. So if you go to simplatex.ca, it'll take you to this Wealthsimple website. SimpleTax was based in Vancouver, and they were acquired by Wealthsimple about a year, maybe 2 years ago. Wealthsimple is a wealth management company based in Toronto, and they do management of RRSPs, they do cryptos and trading, and now they're doing the taxes as well. They're a good company. I recommend using them. I'm using them for my RSPs because everything's just basically on autopilot, and you don't have to. They have low management fees. So if you're using something like RBC, your bank, or if you're using Manulife and that kind of sort for your RSP, they usually charge 1.5 to 2% management fees. For managing your portfolio of RSP investments. If Wealthsimple is charging something like 0.7% or so, so it turns out to be cheaper. So I highly recommend them. So if you go to simplatex.ca or just wealthsimple.com, you'll be at this website and you just go log in, and you can log into the simplatex. So it's gonna ask you for email and password. You can just sign up. It's completely free, and I don't remember doing this because I just had my simplatex password, so it's all integrated. So I'm sure that it's just a simple sign up that you can do with your Google sign up or just through the email address. So I have already logged in here, and let me just delete this for now. So I am already logged in, and basically shows you your return. It's going to ask you for your personal information such as your name, contact email address, your social insurance number, date of birth, the information that you would be putting into your forms when you are filing your taxes. Also, on the left side, you can manage both yourself and your spouse. That's what I have. So we are going to be filling out forms for my wife. I already have mine pre-filled, and I am owing government over $15,000 this year, which is no fun. So I'm going to just I am going to fill out the forms for my wife. So if you just scroll down, there's it says net file access. I don't know what this is. I have never seen this. Let's just go try again what it does. Well, I don't know. It's probably because I was logged in already. And it's asking me to log in again. So during this process, when you're filling out these forms, it's going to ask you for a net file access code. I believe this is, you can leave this out as blank. It's not mandatory, but you can find a code, and it's basically used for communication with the government. You can find this code on your notice of assessment from the last year. It's going to be in the right top corner, right below your SIN number on your notice of assessment. And this is just basically verifying that it's you. Then it's going to ask you for a mailing address, a whole bunch of information about yourself, about your residence, in which province you live, if you moved out of the province, then about you and your family, whether you're married, if you have children, if you are filing this jointly with your spouse. So I am going to say yes. And then it's going to ask you for other information, such as if you have any specified foreign property over $100,000 outside of Canada, if you sold your house, if you are filing for the first time. It's going to ask you whether you want to provide this information to Elections Canada. This is, I believe, mostly for census purposes, so that they know how many people there are in Canada. Then it asks you if you were in prison and stuff like that. And climate action incentive is a new thing. I believe because of the carbon tax, the government is returning some of that money back to Canadians. And then it asks you for confirming if you have a CRA My account, which I do. So now you can build your return. So there are 3 ways of doing this. You can either pre-fill, import everything from CRA My account, which I'm going to show you how to do that. You can also import gains and losses from exchanges, crypto exchanges, if you were doing any crypto trading. You can do this jumpstart. So it's going to copy all the forms from last year that you used, assuming they haven't changed, or you can just look up all the forms. So for example, the form from your employer would be T4 form. I'm sure you're familiar with it. It looks like this. It has all the information that the employer is reporting to the government. And you can add other forms such as RSP. You just look this up. So we are going to go through that later. So if you, for example, if you were doing T4 form, you just press T form and you just filled out exactly the same way as you have it provided to you by your employer. And you can do multiple T4s if you are working for a couple of companies during that year. So we can maybe just delete this. And I'm going to do the import so let's just go CRA My account, do the import, and it asks me if I agree with the terms and conditions. So I just say agree, and then it asks for authorization, so we need to do the authorization. It says it failed. It should be asking you to first log into your MyCRA account, and I have done about half of that. I haven't finished that, so maybe that's why this says it failed. So what I'm going to do is I am going to finish my login into my CRA account, and then we'll just do this again. So I logged into my CRA account, in separate window. It has all the information about yourself from the government. There's a field here, tax information. It shows all the information that the government has on you from this year. So we just can have a look at all slips. And it says there's only one. There's T4E, which is the employment insurance. My wife was on the EI, so that's all she has. If the government received these from from your employers, and you have multiple of them, they would have all that listed here. If you were doing investments, all those forms would be found here. So let's try doing the import. So I'll just go check again, and hopefully this works. And it just asks for whether you would like to import the information for your SIN number. So I'll just click next. And it asks you what you would like to import. So we're just going to import the T4E and all the information that the CRA has on file. And as you can see, now there's $869 in to be refunded to my wife. So if you just go scroll back, scroll down, there should be the T4E slip, and it's right here. It says T4E. It has all the information that the government has. So you don't have to, and it would import all those slips that you have. So you don't have to really fill them out manually. You can just import everything. What the government wouldn't have is information if you have like business. They might not have information on things like a child care benefits, your medical expenses. If you have any separate income, let's say from running an Airbnb, you would be reporting that. So we can have a look. You can just look these up here. So for example, RSP the government would have, but if you would like to add that manually, just look this up in different forms. If you, for example, you received a T5 form, your investments from the bank. So if you just look at the investments, it would be the T5 form. If you earn any interest on the money that you have in the bank. There's also like business investment loss. If you carry that over from last year's, you can just fill it out as well. If you are looking at medical expenses, you can just add those. Just click here, and you can add your medical expenses. There's I think that if you click here, it is going to open a separate window, and this is from the government, and basically tells you what is allowed and eligible for expense. So for example, if you have like a prescription drugs that you paid for, they're eligible, and there's prescription needed. So if you had an audit, you would have to show that prescription, things like vision devices, eyeglasses and stuff like that. So if you paid for it out of your pocket, you can just put it here. So I'm going to delete this in my case because I don't need that. And you can add other forms. Let's say if you had any universal childcare benefits, tuition, for example, you can teacher tax credits. So any type of forms that you have outside of what the employer would be providing you with, and the bank and your investments. Another one, for example, if you had any shares in a public company and you sold it, you should have a form T5/2008, or you can fill out the capital gains or losses. So if you have, statement from the securities transaction, if you sold any shares, it'd be like a capital and whatever you sold it for and the cost of the acquiring of those shares, which would then go into your income. So I think that's all. Hopefully it's easy to understand. The entire software is really intuitive, and it's going to ask you whether you would like to apply if you live in a small rural community, and if you would like to apply for climate action incentive. Lots of this is done automatically. It asks you whether your spouse had a disability, and so you just fill this out very quickly, and this changes dynamically. So every time you add any fields, it changes how much you owe and how much the government is supposed to refund to you. So we are going to be filing this jointly as my wife and myself. So she should be refunded $869, and I owe the government $15,900. So basically, at the end, when you have all those slips and forms added, you can go review and optimize. And it's going to optimize the two forms together. And sometimes it finds more tax savings for you, and gives you some pointers and warnings. Tells you that you're responsible for your taxes and stuff like that. You should be applying, or you should be doing it together. There's suggestions if you digital news subscription tax credit. I don't know what it is. Probably if you're buying any newspapers online, if you're paying for that. It also, for the direct deposit, you can enter your bank information, and you will not be getting a check. The government will give you the money right into your bank account, and then you just go and do a submission, and at the end there's a summary. So together, you can just expand this, and it gives you all the information that you would find normally in your T1 form. You can export it as a spreadsheet, and you can actually, I'm sure that you're familiar with these. You can just save these as PDFs and print them out to store them as hard copies for the future reference. Right, so there's one for, I live in Alberta, so there's one for Alberta. There's RSPs, there's T1 form. And then all you have to do then is you obviously save it as a PDF, and you just submit tax return. It's going to generate a code which you just write down for your own reference, and it's going to file the tax for you for free. So hopefully this helps. As I said, it's really simple. Once you register, you can use this every year, and basically all you do is you just fill out these forms that you have from your employer, from the bank, any medical expenses. Hopefully you are keeping the receipts and prescriptions from your doctor throughout the year, and that's basically it. You should be able to do this in like 15 minutes for free. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, and also please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.